network concepts class, and we were learning about new circuits. And I looked to my left and I looked to my right, and I asked my friends, like, do you know what's going on right now? They both just give me a blank stare. They have no clue what's going on. I approached the professor afterwards, and I asked him, I was like, hey, are you aware that most of these students don't really know what's going on in class? And he told me he just doesn't have any feedback. So that's when I realized that teachers do not receive real-time feedback during their lectures. And additionally, he told me that students just aren't comfortable giving feedback. So I developed a solution. What if students could have a tool which would allow them to ask questions anonymously? This would provide them with the ability to give the professor feedback real time, and also have the professor reiterate certain subjects that are a little too complex. So I present to you iInteract, Innovation in Education. So iInteract introduces real-time anonymous feedback, targeting sources of confusion, improved student engagement via pop quizzes through our application, and an evolving content delivery, because our application can give vital information to our professors so that they can start to change their lecture styles. So we went out and we surveyed 130 students, and we asked them, how frequently are you confused during class? Well, what we found was 45.1% of them are confused on a monthly basis, 35.5% were confused on a weekly basis. Then we asked the students, if you had a tool to ask anonymously, would you use it? 81.4% said yes. Then we asked the students, if the tool was available to you, how interested would you be in using it, from a scale from 0 to 10, 10 being interested, 0 being not interested at all? Well, 79.9% voted 7 and greater than that. So we also interviewed around like 5 teachers, and we found a trend that teachers are having issues keeping their classes engaged. So now I'm going to give you a quick demo of what our application would look like. So at the top left over here is the screen interface for the teacher, and the bottom over here is for the student. There's a key outline where it's like the points, it summarizes the points of what the teacher is presenting. And then it also shows, right there, there's a column for the teacher where there's a question mark, and this represents how many students have a question about a certain topic. And right down here you can see a button for the students where they can just press the button whenever they're confused about a certain topic. We also have data visualization for the professor. That like button right there indicates that 17 students right now are understanding what is going on. But that turtle icon right there indicates that 6 students right now think that the professor is going too fast. Additionally, we included lecture slides so that the professor can keep track about what's going to be presented next. Over there, World War II casualties is slightly highlighted in blue, and it also shows the professor what the next slide is going to be. Over here, the students can see what the present slide is. Additionally, we implemented a question deployment, so pop quizzes to keep the students engaged in class. So how is our product unique? Well, we offer a simple interface and in-depth feedback. But when we look at our competitors called Pulse Piping, what they do is they offer only, it's binary feedback. You can either say, I understand this, or I don't understand this. Ours is different. Ours is different because we can identify which concepts students aren't understanding. Additionally, when I've used Pulse, I tried using Pulse myself, I had no idea what was going on. I'm a computer science major, and this interface was not friendly. So our launch strategy, we're thinking of doing product refinement, mock trials, university trials. I have 4 professors in the computer science department who are interested in using our products to help them. Then we're going to do first university adoption. We're thinking about implementing this at UAA, and then begin a national rollout. Revenue sources, we're thinking educational grants, investors, sales to students for using our services, and future analytics sales from the data that we can collect from the students for book compliant. Our user acquisition model, we plan on partnering with universities, high schools, and corporations, and sales by company representatives and student representatives. Our estimated costs are about, for a good app, is $45,000 for development fees and around $21,000 for legal fees. Any questions?
I'm a little biased here. So how are you going to overcome the problem of professors banning mobile phones, yeah, in class.
Oh, okay. Well, see, I feel like those are sort of the outliers. Typically, most professors are looking at technology as a tools for education rather than, sticking with just, pay attention in class, because I feel like that's really just ineffective, and students can't get any feedback without any sort of tool implemented in the classroom.
And your revenue model, maybe, can you talk a little more about your revenue model?
Sure. So we have a basic model right now. We're thinking around adding just think of it as like $5 per person in the classroom. And so if we have an entire university, we only want to charge students once. So it's 25% of the student body times 66%, because we think 66% of the classes could use this. So 66 times 25% times around 16,000 students at UAA times a $10 fee gives us around a $26,500 per year revenue. But that's only from the sales of the application, though, because we're also getting data analytics is the thing, and that's the key thing, because we can sell that data.
Yeah, could you elaborate on that a little more? Because what you're building is an app, but you're also building a huge database, and I'm just curious how much potential you see in the data.
Well, we spoke to our mentor while we were brainstorming, and there is absolutely huge potential. It's really unlimited because of the amount of data that we can take from our students. We can figure out which professors are performing really well. But I know that might scare some professors and make them feel like Big Brother's watching, right? So it's possibly it's an optional thing to give out the data. It could be something that's optional as well. But I think the data is it's limitless. You can figure out when students are performing best in school, when they're learning concepts faster. Should you teach math at 10:30 a.m. or at 8:30 a.m.?
And the person who's buying this, is it the university or the students?
So what we plan to do is partnering with the universities to require it in the syllabus. So if it's required in the syllabus, the fee will probably be associated with the student account, where that's where the $10 fee would come from to use our application.
And you're projecting $45,000 for the development costs?
That's correct.
And are grants helping subsidize that, or could it be subsidized through grants further?
Possibly.
All right, we're done.